Hello and welcome back to the Dynasty Happy Hour. It's Doug, Tyler, and James. We've got a couple of special guests this week, but before we get to them, I just want to welcome in y'all that are watching this on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe, or drop a like, as the kids say, as I watch all the videos on YouTube with my children. Like and subscribe on YouTube. We're also on Facebook Live. We're here every Sunday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central for you Minnesotans like Tyler over there. And this week we are brought to you by Fantasy Points. When you use code DHH22 to get 10% off a Fantasy Points subscription, you're doing the smartest thing you could ever do, because 90% of subscribers made the playoffs in 2020 and 2021. It's the lowest price in the industry. Analytic-powered draft tool, DFS optimizer, any way that you play fantasy football, it's all on there for you, so you're going to have it. So this week, we are talking about 2022 Superflex rookie mock food comps. That's right. We've already mocked our players. We've got all our food comps ready. And to do that, we are going to bring in our special guest. We have our friend Bo McBriar coming in from the car. What's up, Bo?
What's good? It is hot. It's 92 degrees in NorCal, and we're going to see how long I have to sit in this drive-through line.
That's right. That's going to be part of the gig.
92 degrees in his car, 98 degrees in his car soundtrack.
Damn right. Nick Lachey's my homeboy.
Someone say bye to Tyler, is what I'm saying.
That wrong band, first of all. Know your boy bands, Doug.
Come on, man.
That's right. That didn't sync. I'm not in sync with you. I'm not in sync with you, apparently. Oy.
Who is this guy?
Terrible is who I am. And we're also welcoming in our friend Scott Simpson. Scott, how the hell are you tonight?
Boo.
I'm doing well. I'm doing better than Bo because I beat him in the clash of the beards and bellies last year. So, there's that. So,
Ooh.
Carve it on
Beards
his
versus
head
bellies.
and
I like
stuff.
it.
Beards and bellies.
Yeah, it was.
I was not invited.
Tyler, you missed your calling.
Sounds
I
like
gang
an
the
interesting
beard this
getaway
winter.
weekend.
Or I gang the belly this winter. So
Did you gang it or did you gain it?
I
He
acquired
ganged it.
I ganged it.
acquired
Gangnam style. Whoop.
Gangnam
I
style.
acquired it
Whoop.
in a
I
trade.
got a belly now. Whoop. Whoop.
Whoop, whoop,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
belly now.
Oh, I love it. So let's get into some news. There is some NFL news this week. It's a slower time of the year. The NFL draft is done. But we've got some signings. We've got a trade. We've got some interesting, news on a player that was, a little bit overblown. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. But first of all,
Can't wait.
30-year-old Jarvis Landry signs a one-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. So now the New Orleans Saints, they've got Michael Thomas, probably, maybe. He hasn't played in 2 years. God knows where his ankle's at. So Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, you got Chris Olave, you got Jameis Winston, you've got Alvin Kamara, Adam Troutman. All of a sudden, this offense isn't looking so bad. I think this is a really good spot for Landry. He's 30 years old. He goes back home. He played college ball at LSU, so he's back in the Big Wheezy. I think this pumps a little bit of life into Jarvis Landry. He's was a consistent 80 or more catches every year kind of guy. He's kind of like one of the guys in our rookie mock that I'm going to cover. But I like this signing for Landry. James, what did you think about Jarvis Landry signing with the Saints for 1 year?
I think it helps out Jameis, really. He has 3 receivers that can actually hold on to the ball. We saw Marquez Callaway fail last year, and I
liked him too.
This just solidifies the fact that, he does have some decent targets.
He didn't fail.
To who? Marquez Callaway?
He was good in the preseason.
He was
He
good.
did not fail.
I mean, he flashed. He's not. Is he going to do anything this year? No.
Look
So,
who his
yeah, he
quarterbacks were. My goodness.
You don't put that on Trevor
Jameis?
Simeon.
failed. You don't talk
Jameis
about
was his
Trevor.
quarterback too.
blows.
Now, I mean, obviously,
Well, he was
obviously,
great when
Bo,
Jameis was there.
obviously, Bo gave up a second-round pick to acquire him, so we know where the bias is
No,
at.
I got it. I got Callaway at very last pick with Scott Fishbowl last year. So I definitely targeted him.
I
very,
spent way
very
too much
late,
fab on him in Scott
and
Fishbowl.
it paid off. paid off early, but then when Jameis went down, it was over.
Fair enough. Scott, what do you think about Jarvis Landry with the Saints?
I mean, my Chris Olave stock is a little disappointed right now. I mean, long term in Dynasty, not the end of the world, but still, I had him in a Devy league, and I was very excited just looking at that wide receiver 2 option. And now, I mean, it's a muddle. So it's good for Landry. It's better for Winston, like you said.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because Landry and Thomas seem repetitive to me. So
And
it would be
Olave.
interesting if Michael Thomas gets moved, because I think there's a rift with him in New Orleans these last couple of years. Like, he should have gotten surgery. He didn't, and he missed all of last year. That had to piss them off. I'm sorry.
Sean
So
Payton's fault.
wouldn't be surprised to see Michael Thomas on the move. Just saying. Not
Three
to say I called it first, but
three slot receivers
Michael
walk
Thomas
into
his
a
ankle's been
shrimp
fine for
boil.
2 months.
Walk into the Superdome.
Yep.
3 slot receivers walk into the Superdome.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a
pretty
joke,
much what
but
it
it's
is.
actually true.
yeah.
If you have
Hey,
3
and then
slot
Matt
receivers,
Nagy
you have been
offense. Hey,
No,
Matt
you
Nagy,
don't.
all slants all the time. All slants. Everybody's
James
running
can't hit slants.
Jameis can't hit the slant. That's the problem I'm having.
Exactly. What are
Yeah.
they doing?
They'll stack them, so if one misses, it'll go to the second guy.
How many W's is Jameis going to eat this year?
7.
About 6.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We did have a trade, and this one was a player, was pretty much dead in the water because he was buried on the depth chart. The Raiders made some signings. They signed Keelan Cole. They signed Demarcus Robinson. They have Hunter Renfrow. They obviously traded for Devontae Adams. So Bryan Edwards was just shoved all the way down on the depth chart. But now he gets a new look on life because he becomes an Atlanta Falcon and immediately arguably becomes the wide receiver 2 on that team across from Drake London. I love this move for the Falcons. They didn't have to give up a lot. They gave up a 2023 fifth for Bryan Edwards, and they got a 2023 seventh back. I love this move, and especially if you had him on your taxi squad or you were holding him because he was virtually kind of worthless. He's still only 23 years old. He has that alpha profile, early breakout age, all the things lined up for Bryan Edwards to be successful in the NFL. He flashed a couple of games last year and looked the part.
In overtime.
Will he get the opportunity? Tyler, you're the Falcons fan. What do you think about him? Now, I know Mariota's not the best quarterback in the world, but Ritter's obviously the next guy, it seems like. What did you think about Bryan Edwards to the Atlanta Falcons?
I thought it was smart, a cheap investment. I don't know if they had kind of whispers in the bushes that he might have gotten cut, and they might have had their eyes on him.
In a bush?
You've never whispered in a bush? I mean, we play Fortnite, and we whisper in bushes all the time. So
that's fair.
I honestly think that they thought he might get cut or something, so they kind of jumped forward and kind of got ahead of the game because, hey, he had a young breakout age. He's 23 years old. Why not get on this earlier than fighting with other teams to acquire him? So in my opinion, I love this. I love the signing. I love the jokes. I know they're jokes. Drake London season's over. Bryan Edwards coming in, wide receiver 1. That's not happening. I mean, they've got towers and now, like Pitts, Drake London, Bryan Edwards is 6'3". Like these are big guys, and in my opinion, I think this is stock up for Ritter. I've heard nothing but great things from beat reporters and everything in Atlanta about Ritter and how he's come in. He's screaming at people like 50 yards away to get in on the line, to hurry up and hustle. Matt Ryan did the exact same thing. And as much as people were like, oh, come on, like that shows leadership. And that's what I feel with Ritter is the intangibles. He's got these intangibles that almost make you get that Russell Wilson vibe. I'm not saying he's Russell Wilson skills wise, but personality wise and leadership, he is Russell Wilson. He has that edge to him. And a lot of quarterbacks coming in don't.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bo, what did you think about Bryan Edwards? Do you roster him in any dynasty leagues? And were you like, whew, now he's worth something again, potentially?
Not really. I sold off a bunch of shares. I mean, I think I'm in 32, 34 dynasty leagues. I have one or two shares of him. I just acquired a share of him before the trade for a late 4th, and I was basically looking at the rest of the board. It was right in the middle of the rookie draft, right as we were tailing off. I had like the 4-10, and I'm looking at the pick, and I'm looking at the board.
Like Danny Gray or Bryan Edwards?
Yeah, Bo Melton.
It was
Bryan Edwards.
It was even worse than that. It was gross. And so I went.
Eric
and
Ezukama or Bryan Edwards?
Right. Yeah, Slade Bolden or Bryan Edwards. And somebody
Dingle McCringleberry.
Yeah.
Dingle McCringle, but hey,
so
upside.
Trail Clogans.
4-10 on the block, and somebody threw Bryan Edwards. I smashed accept on Bryan Edwards over a late 4th. That's basically going to be a camp cut anyway.
Yeah, I think the thing with guys like Edwards is that we all remember it was the 3-year breakout with receivers. Well, now they're breaking out in their rookie year, and everybody is impatient AF. So a guy like Edwards, going into a situation like this with the Falcons, I like it a lot. So I think it was a good trade for obviously the Brian Edwards owners as well as the Atlanta Falcons as a football team, because they get a guy that does have some talent. And let's be honest, Olamide Zaccheaus and Frank Darby weren't cutting it, kids. They trash. So at least getting Brian Edwards in there was a very smart move.
You need to build a basketball team because Ritter is about as accurate as I am. So
James is good. James is gonna be. Those are fighting words, kid.
Ooh, easy,
You need
easy
to
there,
disguise
Bo.
This
Easy
whole
there.
class was not very
Huge
accurate.
there.
is necessary.
Back to Brian Edwards, though, it makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels. You know, he's been comped to Corey Davis as far as size. You know, he hasn't broken out yet as an NFL player. Corey Davis took a long time. Mariota played with him in Vegas. So what's better to have a backup quarterback throwing you the ball because you were a backup wide receiver? So there may
I
be a
love how you said
connection there
backup
already.
quarterback.
So, you know, maybe maybe they'll both be backup still. But, you know, I think it's worth a shot. I mean, I know, Tyler, you picked him up in one of the leagues that we're in together off the waiver wire. I think it's okay. I mean, if you have room on your roster and you want to take a shot, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's better than a lot of the stuff that's out there. In
Also,
a lot of leagues.
can I say,
No.
I've been reading a lot about these rookie quarterbacks, and I get it's not pretty. It's not. But you know what? There's going to be 2 of these quarterbacks that pan out, and there's going to be a lot of people that hate themselves for passing on them.
Oh, we'll get there in my comps.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll
100%.
get there.
The 2 or 3. I would not be shocked if there's 3 that hit.
Okay. All right, let's get into our last piece of news before we kick this thing off. And it is Jerry Jeudy. Tyler texted me in a frantic moment. He's like, "We need to sell Jeudy. This is bad. This is so bad." I'm like, "Tyler, calm down. We don't know anything."
Sell
had
him.
some
Shouldn't have had him
bad-
on your roster to begin
I had
with.
some bad info from
Very
people
much
that
so.
I message to find things out.
Yeah. So Jerry Jeudy, to find out he was holding a baby formula hostage after his baby mama took his phone.
Son of a bitch.
LOL. Yeah, this, and I didn't
Is
realize
that real?
No, his baby mama took his keys.
Yeah.
So in return, he took his phone, and then he took her keys and the baby formula and locked it in his trunk.
That
That's
baby
what I
formula was
heard.
going
You
for a
don't
mint.
mess with baby formula.
No,
You
it's
don't mess
like
with the
high
wide
stakes right
receiver's
now.
phone either.
For anybody
Yeah,
that's
CeeDee
out
Lamb,
there and
he
has
showed us
little
that.
kids,
I mean, for
baby
people who
formula right now
Yes.
is at an all-time high.
It is.
Inflation.
It's powdered gold.
Yes, it is.
It's insane.
Literally
Find it.
gold.
You can't
It's-
find it.
you can't. It's. I mean,
I'm
I was just about to
mad
say
my
that.
wife is no
It's
longer
like the
breastfeeding
COVID
'cause I'd be
version
selling breast
of
milk on the
toilet paper.
streets.
Like, remember when we couldn't even get a wipe here or there? These babies are starving.
I offered.
I mean, if
I
you're
offered,
not breastfeeding, you're screwed.
I offered to milk myself, then dry it, but they were like, "No, we're good."
No, it's too pale.
I have
Yeah.
nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
So it looks like the Jerry Jeudy news is nothing. Looks like it's not going to be a thing. So you
Yeah,
can
you might get a
probably-
tap on the wrist.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't
yeah,
get
look,
past the.
I was telling
commish for
Tyler, I said,
nothing,
when's
man.
the last time an NFL player has actually got into legal trouble that served any time? We didn't see any time with Adrian Peterson. Even Darius Geis, they got all his stuff dropped. I mean, and he's not in the league,
Kamara
obviously.
is TBD though.
Yeah, but
Melvin Gordon
Yeah,
didn't.
there's
serve-
video of
Tyreek
him.
Hill, Melvin Gordon, all these guys, the NFL doesn't want that. They make it Deshaun
O.J.
Watson.
Simpson.
Just
Deshaun
make it
Watson's
go
gonna get
away.
suspended.
Deshaun Watson's gonna get
Yeah.
suspended.
Suspended, sure, but he's not going to serve any time. He might serve like a 4-game suspension. I mean, he'll serve the suspension. Like, that's fine. But none of these guys are doing jail time.
But
That's
seriously, don't mess with dogs. That's the one thing you don't do.
Yo, yeah, you'll get jail time for that.
Mike Vick.
big facts, big facts. All right, let's move on. We're going to hear from our sponsors really quick. It's Trophy Smack, our longest standing sponsor. We love the guys. We love Matt and the team over at Trophy Smack. And you can upgrade your fantasy league today, whether you play football, hockey playoffs are going on, RIP Bruins, basketball, Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, pumped for that, baseball, soccer, they're all completely customizable. Trophy Smack has the right trophy for you no matter how you decide to play. And you can use code DHHRING and get a free $60 championship ring with the purchase of a trophy or a belt. They also have stuff for the losers of the league because, you know, there's always winners. And, of course, there's always losers. So once again, once again, that code is DHH ring for that free ring at checkout. All right, so let's get into this Superflex rookie mock draft. All food comps all the time. I had the honor of picking 101. Now, I picked Brees Hall. He's the consensus 101. There hasn't been a league that I've been in where I haven't seen Brees Hall go 101. So my food comp for Brees Hall is my favorite cut of meat, and it is a ribeye steak. It's a juicy ribeye. It looks amazing. You want it to melt in your mouth when you bite into it. But the twist with this one is you cut into it and it's overcooked and blah. I.e., I think
Whoa.
Hall might be the clear-cut 101 this year, but I think that's because this class is not very good. So I think Hall on the outside looking in looks juicy and delicious, but once you cut into it, you're going to be disappointed with his production, especially when you paid the 101 for Brees Hall in a Superflex league, because this year's draft class, not good. So Brees Hall has been elevated. And I'm just saying, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. So I think you're going to bite into that ribeye, and it's going to be a little tough in the center and not how you want it cooked,
You
which
think
is
they
medium rare,
overcooked
by
it?
the way.
You got a cut of meat from the street.
Street meat.
You got some street meat.
Street meat.
Yep.
Is
So
that steak?
Wow.
Or is
Brees
that
Hall, 101.
Brees Hall street meat. Got it.
He's an overcooked ribeye. Disappointing. So now we are going to move on to Bo at the 102. What do you got, Bo?
I got Drake London, and I don't think Brees Hall street meat. That's awful. That's horrible. But anyway,
Ribeye is not
Drake
street meat, by the way.
yeah, Drake London is ants on a log. Get this, the old like preschool snack, you know?
Yeah,
Peanut butter.
so good.
He's not just that tall stalk of celery that we all see him as. This guy's got peanut butter because he's got that extra bump of flavor, and then you got the extra bit of yards after the catch. Those are those chocolate chips or raisins, whatever you prefer to be your ants on the log. This guy's a delicious, nostalgic snack. Reminds me a lot of USC wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson back in the day.
Ooh.
This is a stud, and you go to something simple like ants on a log. Everybody loves it. They remember it from their childhood. He's a throwback wide receiver, but he's going to dominate this league.
Love
All
it.
right.
Love
I
it.
like
I just took him at 102 today in the league.
Nice.
Smart.
Ants on a log for Bo, Drake London. I like it. So that brings us to the 103, and we're to you, James. What do you got?
Kenneth Walker.
I heard it's Ken Walker now.
Yeah,
Oh, it's Ken Walker. It's just Ken now. It's just
Sounds
Ken.
more manly when you say Ken.
Ken.
I mean, I liked
Like
Kenneth
Barbie and
Walker the
Ken.
third. I mean,
Ken.
stand up, you know?
Ken Kniff from Connecticut.
Yeah,
Kenny.
no. It's Kenneth Walker from Tennessee. He came from right outside of Nashville. And this is where we're going to start throwing in some spice, guys, because, you know,
Spicy
he was
chicken?
a Spartan, and
hot chicken.
Spartans dine in hell. It gets hot. Nashville hot chicken, Mr. Kenneth Walker. All right. Super spicy, super fast. He's got the build. And I understand he didn't catch too much in college, but hey, he can still do it. Don't sleep
Shelby
on it just
Street
because you
Eats.
haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it's not true. You know, we all go back and say, oh, well, you know, if we really wanted to go back, and I know I have to dig a little bit, but LaDainian Tomlinson, okay? Walker had more receptions in his senior year than LaDainian Tomlinson did in his
I think
senior
LT
year.
had a 100 reception season, did he not, in the NFL? I believe?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he did.
Also, that was a time and age where they hardly threw running backs, so that's saying something.
I mean,
San Diego State especially did not. They just ran it right down the throat of the defense.
correct. So what did Michigan State do? Ran it down their throat. I think he transfers to the Seattle Seahawks. Perfect. There's problems with Chris Carson in the backfield. Rashad Penny is 50-50 in my. It's like head or tails. Rashad Penny, pun intended.
I like that.
Boo.
You don't know what you're gonna get. Okay.
It's like a box
And
of chocolate.
I don't think Penny can hold a full workload for a full season. I think Walker gets in there probably by week 4 if Carson's out and he starts showing off some juice and takes over the lead role. I think Walker at the end of it's a tier. You know, I know Doug, you didn't really like Brees Hall as much, but it's Hall, Walker, and then there's a little bit of a drop off for the next tier.
Also, a lot of people don't like before. A lot of people aren't fans of Kenneth Walker. They seem off of him. But you know what's really hot right now in restaurants? Chicken sandwiches, Nashville chicken sandwiches. It's going to catch on. Kenneth Walker's going to be as popular as.
Yeah, even Arby's has
So
got.
he's the
chicken sandwiches now,
Nashville
like
hot chicken. You watch.
where's the
He's going to be
the
some
beef?
spicy.
Where's the beef? And now they got
spice?
chicken. What's this world coming to?
Yeah,
Arby's
my
is selling
website
chicken
has
sandwiches.
Nashville hot seasoning. It's
good.
all the rage. It's
Yeah,
the
very
most
good.
popular product. So
It's the new
A
sriracha.
lot of
Also-
cayenne pepper.
Also, what's also good on chicken, his barbecue rub that I used tonight, and I threw some barbecue sauce on the chicken as well. It was fantastic.
Love it. All right, we are going to move on to the 104, and that is my man with the Nashville hot chicken hair, Tyler.
I
He's
had
got
104.
hair.
I went Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, the
love
comparison
it.
is carne asada, street tacos. Now, the reason, because they are my 101 of food. I love them. I will eat them. And Garrett Wilson is my 101. He's not moving off of it. But just think of it. Okay, you got the seasoned steak. You've got the onions. You've got the cilantro. You've got the queso fresco. And then you've got some spice, salsa, whatever you want on it. All those combined make a delicious meal. Now, that's just like Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson has speed. He's got strong hands, route running, contested catch ability, and run after the catch ability. All those combined make him the best receiver in this draft class. And I'm going to stick to it, and that is my comp.
Recently falling in drafts. I
Yeah.
had the luck of taking him today at the 108. He fell to me
That's nuts.
in a super flex.
oh, that's lovely.
Still nuts.
but
Like,
it was
I
beautiful.
would
And
take
then in
Kenny
another
Pickett
league
over him.
today,
God,
I got
no.
him at the 105.
okay.
So like, I'm
It's landing spot. And you know what? Landing spot can change. Everybody hated A.J. Brown's landing spot. Look what
Mhm.
happened.
Yeah, people faded Brown because they're like, ooh,
Yeah.
Tennessee. He's a stud.
Now they're
So-
fading him because of Eagles.
That's right. All right, so the caboose of this is Scott. You've got the
Ooh,
105.
Scott's caboose.
Bo, you like it when I'm the caboose, right? In our back and forth.
In a human
I
centipede.
don't know. In a group chat today, he said, or in a thread today, he said he tried my meat and it was delicious. So
Street meat?
Nice.
You tried Bo's street meat?
No, actually,
yeah, it was
Denny-
in my house, so it was house meat. It
Oh.
was house
Meat.
special.
Yeah,
Wow.
at one point, Denny Carter said Bo was a meat thought leader, and then I put a video up of him basting his meat. And so I think it all went together. Good call on Tennessee, because I picked Traylon Burks at the end of this little 5-man draft, and you're talking about somebody who's an inch taller than AJ Brown, who weighs the same. So he's not AJ Brown, but if you're going to replace AJ Brown, I do love Traylon Burks in this role. Here's what he is to me. He is an Arkansas, right? Because I've been in Arkansas. I got some of my best friends who live in Arkansas. They have some of the best ribs I've ever eaten in my life. Marinated for 48 hours. Secret family recipe will kill me. Evan told me he would kill me if I even looked at his recipe while I was in the fridge, right? So they take it seriously. I'm going to say, though, you mentioned it earlier. I'm putting some Bo's big time flavor, Smoke Shack barbecue rub all over those ribs. And the reason I'm comping him the ribs is because he's gonna be the full meal for the Titans this year. AJ Brown, that's what he was. Who else are they going to throw to in that role? He is the new AJ Brown, so I like it. And then I'm gonna pick him. I got him in like 3 or 4 different Superflex startups, so I'm excited.
Damn, he's
He's
the
gonna get a
whole
little
hog. Though. He
smoked
kills
up
the
from
whole
that
hog with
Bobby
just a knife.
Trees.
Oh,
So
yeah.
low key, I am not a ribs person, and I have no roster shares of Traylon Burks.
I've got
There you
Burks.
go.
I think he's one of my higher
I think
roster
I have
ones.
one share of
Yeah.
Burks.
All right, well that's gonna bring it back to me, and so I've got the 106, and I took Chris Olave for food comp, and I've got him as a ghost pepper. He has the he has the chance to be the hottest rookie. People either love spice or they hate it, just like Chris Olave. You had people that were like, I love Chris Olave, and then you had people that are like, nah, dog, I don't see it. So it's a lot like spice. People either love it or hate it. He's got speed to burn, and he's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths who passed on him and let him slip to the end of the first round. I've seen him go at the 108, 109. So y'all going to be the haters are going to be chugging that milk. And Olave,
Nah, I'm good.
when I say he has the chance to be the hottest rookie, we saw Jameis Winston throw for 5,000 yards and 30 some odd touchdowns back in the day. Olave is the only field stretcher they really have worth a damn. I mean, we talked about Marquez Callaway. He can stretch the field, sure. Landry and Thomas, but Olave can take the top off, and he can scream down the field. So he's my ghost pepper at 106. Olave. All right, we're
As
gonna go.
the king of spice. As the king of spice, though, I think you get more yards after the catch from the ghost pepper itself, not than from Olave.
It's coming, don't you worry. All right, so at the 107, we're back to Bo.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yep. And 107, I took the actual spicy pepper. I didn't comp him to a spicy pepper, but the guy with the most speed, the most explosive playmaking ability in this class, Jameson Williams, going to Detroit. That I'm comping him, and I hate to steal Tyler's thunder here, but he's not carne asada tacos. He's just carne asada, because it's gonna take him a couple months, or just like marinade. You want to marinate this carne asada. You want to let him get right, but once he's ready, it's only gonna take him about 3 minutes to get ready to go. He's going to go on the grill, and he's going to be done, ready to go, killing this league in
Now, can he
3
go on the
minutes.
griddle if you're nasty?
The
Yeah,
grill?
if it's raining or something, I guess.
The George Foreman.
The
No,
plancha.
the
Gotta
Blackstone.
throw it on the
Yes.
plancha, man.
Throw him on the
If
Blackstone. That thing
anything,
cooks
I
everything.
would put him in a
Flash
cast
cook 'em.
iron grill grate, that like inside. Make
the
sure you got the
Blackstone.
vent fan on, because he's going to
Done.
smoke it up.
All right, we'll see.
High heat.
A lot
this
of carne
guy's
asada
burning
talk on
fast.
this podcast. I did not
getting
expect
hungry.
this.
Mm.
Did not
Yeah,
expect
let
this.
him marinate for a couple months, let him get right, and then throw him on the grill, throw him on the field, and he's ready to go. And he's going to torch defenses. This is the second coming of Deshaun Jackson.
All right,
Ooh.
I dig it. James, just tell me your player is not carne asada, and I'll be happy.
It is
I-
not carne asada. I stayed
All right.
away from that. All right. At the 108, I took James Cook.
Ooh.
All right,
Mm.
brother of Dalvin
Very
Cook.
appropriate for a food
Chef.
cop episode.
Yeah.
And a chef.
And I know Scott was mad that I
Motherfucker.
sniped him.
Burger,
Sniped the cook.
burger.
Why isn't it a wraparound? I just want to understand this, right? Well, we do the snake for every fucking thing else, right? Why is it not a
Not for
wraparound?
rookie drafts. Or are you a
Not
rookie
for rookie
yourself?
drafts. If it was a snake draft for
If
rookie
it was a
draft,
startup, I'd understand it.
It should just. I don't
Slither
understand.
like a
Scott's
snake.
new
like a
here.
snake.
All right,
Scott's
so
new.
James Cook.
Scott's
I've
new
done
here.
plenty of them. I've done plenty of them. I've always been at the back end because I'm winning, and I don't like that I don't get the reach around. That's all.
It's all right. It's all right. You can wrap around on or reach around on Bo's street meat anytime you want.
Hey.
Hey,
Gonna need a
so
long
James
arm.
Cook lands in Buffalo. Now Buffalo, who we all know Buffalo Wings, but they've got the wings. They've got Gabe Davis. They have Stephon Diggs. They picked up Jamison Crowder. And now they get the compliment of James Cook as a pass catching back, something they haven't had. So James Cook
Ranch.
is my blue cheese dressing.
Blue
He
cheese.
is not ranch.
So he's a
all
little
right?
stinky, but he tastes good
He's a little stinky. And why he's a little stinky? Because he's not as big
because he
to
doesn't
be
shower.
that 3-down back. I don't know if he can be the 3-down back. He may need to pick up a little bit
200
of weight,
pounds.
but he is a great complement to the run game. He is eventually out the gate beating Zach Moss for carries.
He's not,
Rest
why
in
are we
peace.
bringing up Zach Moss still?
Stop.
Why?
Stop.
Dead game.
Singletary, 1 year left on his contract. He can fill the shoes there. He's a great, like I said, great compliment, elusive capability, and he has the ability to get to the corner, and he should see the end zone some point this season. I'm looking forward to James Cook in this high-powered Buffalo offense. You could dip that in the blue cheese dressing.
I
He's
love
gonna
me
go-
some.
He's going
I
to go
love me
well
some
with
blue
Buffalo.
cheese. Blue cheese is good stuff. Tyler, you're up at the 109.
I have
Who
a
you got?
question, though.
Moss.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead, Bo.
Oh, so I was going to say, I saw a poll up for Buffalo people, and I think it was like 60-40 in favor of ranch. I'm not saying I agree with them, but I don't know whether or not.
I don't
Depends
like
on the
dressing that you
sauce
can
is
make
ranch.
like it comes out of a packet. That's
It-
how that
Not
most
if you-
people
Well,
make their
well,
ranch.
first of all, you should
Yeah,
not.
bottled ranch is disgusting. but-
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that Hidden Valley crap.
For me, it
Keep
all
it hidden.
depends on.
Yeah, they
on-
should keep it hidden. That's
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
for me, it all depends on what sauce is on the stuff. Like if it's all about the sauce.
Well, it's spicy up there in Buffalo, so you need that
I like the
tang of the
heat of
blue
a buffalo
cheese,
wing
man.
with the coolness of the blue cheese. That's what works
Yeah.
for me.
Yes.
Bo
All
knows
right.
what's
Well, my 109 was Kenny Pickett, and you guys are gonna love this.
You better, because I mean you've
It's
been talking
already
about it all day, so
hilariously
it better
bad
be good.
up. Boy.
My
Probably
comparison is cheeseburger sliders with grilled onions. Now,
Because they're small.
They're tiny.
Because they're
They fit
small,
in
they're
tiny.
Because
handheld.
they're small and he's in Pittsburgh.
so they're smaller burgers, so they're easy to handle with the small hands.
When he takes a selfie, though, it looks like a regular burger.
I'm trying to help the guy out.
He's like Deadpool.
So,
It looks so big in my hands.
but the thing is, it may seem plain, just okay with no condiments. So you're sitting, you're like, oh, there's no mustard, there's no sauce or anything. You know what? The onions add just a little spark of upside, just like Pickett's running ability that everybody kind of puts in the darkness and doesn't realize that he actually has good movement in the pocket and outside the pocket. It's where he plays his best football. Now, it's always an easy dish to have around parties and to fall in love with, just like the Steelers organization for Pickett. It's easy to fall in love with that landing spot. But these are always slept on, and if done right, it always delivers and could become better than what people imagine.
See, I thought it was gonna be the sliders because he did the fake.
the slider was
the
great.
fake slide in Pittsburgh, and they banned it.
Oh, the fact that they banned a move because of that, like I would like anybody to try that move. I'm tearing both ACLs. My back's thrown out.
My ankles would be 20 yards deep. They would just
If
be
he
blown
tried
out.
that in an NFL game, he'd get his head taken off.
Kenny
Maybe.
Pickett in the baby hamburger. Love it.
Oh,
It's called a
I
slider.
smell a
Should be like a
collab out
children's
there in
book.
Pittsburgh. Primanti Brothers,
The
you gotta
fake
have a
slider.
small
I mean,
sandwich.
you had the Roethlisberger. Now you got the Pickett tiny sliders.
Primanti Brothers, you need to step it up.
With no
make a
condiments because
sandwich.
he's not exciting at all.
Instantly though, like
Kenny
right when I thought of
sliders.
Pickett, I'm like sliders.
That's
Easy.
That's an easy one.
Great food comp.
Yeah, nice. All right, so we are up to Scott, rounding out our second tier here at the 110.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking here. I went Sky Moore, and one of the places is one of the reasons is the place he's at, landing spot, right? Not replacing Tyreek Hill, but draft capital, up. You like that? Also 4.4 speed, I like that as well. So I went with some burnt ends, right? Because he's
Ooh,
burning.
Ooh,
some
yes.
ends
this is a good segue to mine.
It's gonna be straight burning them, and I'm excited. I might put the Nashville street heat that Bo's got on his meat. I might put that on the burn ends myself if I'm gonna slow cook them for all afternoon. But yeah, I like Sky Moore a lot, and I picked him up. I got 2 shares.
All right, burn
I
ends, and
got
that's
Sky Moore in about 3 or 4 leagues.
that
Loving
is a
it.
perfect segue because I'm up at the what are we at, the 11th pick? So
Yep.
the 111th. I picked Malik Willis, and my comp is brisket. So the reason it's brisket, it's going to take a while to cook to get it perfect. But once it's done, it's going to reward the folks who took Willis in Superflex because he's going in early to mid second. And at
Yep.
that point this year in Superflex leagues, I'm looking at the
Yeah.
players and I'm like, there's no one
Damn.
with more ceiling than Malik Willis. He's got Treylon Burks. They drafted Hassan Haskins. They drafted the super athletic Delaney Walker clone at tight end. This offense might be completely new as early as next year after Tannehill's gone. So Malik Willis could be a huge payoff. You know, we were all like, he's the 101 or 102 in Superflex. Then he falls to the 3rd round. So that brisket, you're smoking it as long as you can. And then once it's done, it's going to take some time. And it has so much flavor. And that's going to be Malik Willis. It's going to pay off because you waited. And then all that flavor is going to hit you in the face when you have him as your starting QB2 in Superflex leagues in 2020.
You ever been smacked in the face with a brisket?
I bet it would hurt.
Sounds like
That's
a Led Zeppelin story.
That's a heavy cut of meat.
We'll have to do that at the expo this year, James. Tyler won't be there, so we'll have to do it, just the 2 of us.
I'm gonna have to fly in just to get smacked by your brisket. Whoa!
I'll get Jacoby Brissett to slap you with his brisket. It'll be a Brissett
Brisket.
Yeah, it'll be a whole thing. We can do this. All right, let's go. Let's go back to Bo with his next pick here at the 112 with a play-as play.
All right, who do I have here? Damian Pierce, the Florida running back, who is so underutilized. And I'm gonna use a really nice comp because this guy's gonna he's gonna earn his work in the NFL. Damian Pierce goes to Houston, and I'm comping him to Wild Boar Sausage. He's gonna have to be on the hunt for his meat. Like if he wants to eat in that offense, he's gonna have to beat 2 seasoned veterans on that team, on a team that's run very traditionally. He's gonna have to go out and kill his own boar like Treylon Burks and go and get his own meat, but it's going to be a big payoff because there's nothing better than wild boar sausage, especially when you were the one that slaughtered the hog.
Never had it. I got to add that to my list.
Damian Pierce is a dog.
He said boar.
Boar.
What do you
think he said?
He said wild horse sausage?
Yes. Wild boar sausage.
Get your mind out of that gutter.
Yeah, Damian Pierce reminds me so much of Marion Barber, where he just runs angry. He's got a better receiving ability than people give him credit for. He breaks a lot of tackles. He's a great pass protector. We're talking about the total package and a running back that was just underutilized because the Florida coaching staff was full of idiots, to be honest. We're talking about Damian Pierce's wheels up for me. He's a great football player, and he's going to prove himself on the NFL stage without a lot of miles on his tires.
I love it, Bo. Quick pick, because I just took Damian Pierce. Damian Pierce or Miles Sanders?
Miles Sanders.
Pierce, because Sanders is nothing. His team's never trusted him, and he's going to be done after this year.
Yes.
Sounds like a lot of wishful thinking.
That's why I love Bo.
Sanders is like coattails of Saquon Barkley ever since the beginning.
That's a true statement.
Pierce is also
Miles Sanders fell off after his rookie year.
Also, I want to say Pierce is a 4th-round pick, and we are putting lot of stock into a 4th-round pick.
He could easily be replaced in next year's draft.
100%.
Now, yes, he could. And we also have to remember that these running backs, we always say, draft capital this, draft capital that. Every one of these running backs got pushed down the line this year.
Yeah.
Because of the wide receiver class.
And no demand.
So we have to keep that in mind when we say that.
I would say no. The early 2nd-round pick is like a 1st-round pick for a running back. We've seen that. DeAndre Swift. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was
okay, so what's a 4th-round pick? A 3rd?
4th-round pick? I mean, I don't think a 4th-round pick matters as much, in my opinion. If it's day 2, give me all of the day 2 running backs. If it's not, I'm not going to really put too much into them.
We shall see.
Contract-wise, though, I don't think draft capital matters for running backs that much anymore because they're all going to be on 3-year deals. They're all going to be getting the same chance with the same amount of injuries around the position in the whole league. We're seeing all kinds of late-round or undrafted guys step in and show out because there's so many of these guys that slip through the cracks because the NFL scouting has never been worse.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put my chips into a 23-year-old running back that is coming in, early 4th-round draft capital. That's just my opinion. I have not drafted him. I probably
19-year-old legs though.
Let's keep the train on the rails, and we're going to go to James for his next pick.
We go on to Green Bay at the 201, I guess we can call it. Yeah, 201. I took Christian Watson, who has been climbing up draft boards as of late. I saw him
sauerkraut
very early. No, Tyler. Come on, man. He lands in Wisconsin, in Green Bay. He's a cheesehead now, and he's going to be that Kobe cheddar. Firm, consistent, got a little buttery finish to him. So Watson, 6'4", 208 pounds. He's got the burst. He's got the speed. Mild on the route running because I didn't really like his route running as much. So there's the mild, just like the cheddar. Scores mainly on long bombs, which will work well with Aaron Rodgers. Corner routes are going to be good too. I think he fits well in the Green Bay offense. Somebody's got to be the lead receiver there, and I think he can overtake who is that? MVS?
Aaron Jones.
No, he's gone. I thought
who
he
else is there? I don't even know who's
Alan Lazard.
Watson,
And
Sammy
Lazard.
Watkins.
Lazard,
Amari
Lazard
Rogers.
and Watkins.
Cobb.
Yeah,
Robert
so I
Tonyan.
think the grass is green in Green Bay for Christian Watson to go ahead and put on his cheese head and ride along with Aaron Rodgers as long as Aaron Rodgers is there.
I thought he might have been oysters in the raw because he's a little bit of a raw prospect.
I was thinking that, and then I was like,
yeah, what's up?
Steak tartare.
Steak tartare. Ill. All right,
right.
Tyler, we are
chicken
back to you.
tartare.
All right, 202. I went George Pickens. My comparison is a Chipotle burrito. Now, the reason
Spice.
it's always a roll of the dice. One time you can go and it could just be awful. The meat could be cold, the rice is hard, just awful.
Inconsistent.
Other times you could go and it's amazing. It's one of the best burritos you've ever had. Everything's warm, perfect in place. I mean, it hasn't happened very often lately, but it has happened to me where you get that perfect burrito. Pickens is a major boomer bust probability. He could be the best receiver in this class, or he could flame out and just be a Justin Hunter.
Oh, Justin Hunter. Hey,
Ooh.
fun fact on a food comp show: I've never stepped foot in a Chipotle.
Good for you.
I've
Why
had it once
not?
via DoorDash in Florida, but I've never stepped into one.
So here, my wife and I, we live really close to one. It used to be awesome. We used to go all the time, never disappointed. The past 3 years,
COVID.
like they cut their hours. They're only open till 4 now. Not open on the weekends.
4?
Yeah, 4. They're not open on weekends. And every time we've gone, it's been meh.
I think that's just
That's cool.
an add in with what's going on in the restaurant hospitality business,
Yep.
regardless. Like everything right now is going downhill. Remember that Wendy's that we went into in Ohio when you got stuck in the gas station in the oil in the Jiffy Lube? You tried to
We
go
went-
into the
we went
Wendy's
to
or
Wendy's?
the Taco Bell, wherever it was. I think it was
a
Taco Bell, and they
yeah.
wouldn't let you in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
And you had to go in the Jiffy Lube, then you got locked in the Jiffy Lube bathroom.
Yeah,
That's
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 terrible.
at least
Yeah.
oh,
Jiffy
it was
Lube was
great,
open.
Scott.
I mean, I only get busy in Burger King
great.
bathrooms personally, so
Yeah, because you're on the throne. It's where the king lives.
because I'm a
Yeah.
humpy, pronounced with
Chipotle
an
Oh, I
thing
gotta
is
take a
funny
leak at the
because
Jiffy Lube. Let me just pull over
we've
here.
never
And then they
needed
shut the
toilet
Jiffy
paper
Lube down with
more
Tyler
than
inside.
when there was a shortage. And
Was
Chipotle's
hilarious.
gone
But,
to where
yeah,
we need more toilet paper when there was a shortage.
Yeah.
All right, so-
Chipotle burrito.
So Tyler picked George Pickens of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are off to Scott for our next pick.
All right, first, I just want to throw a shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joe Dolan himself, Big Joe D. He sent me this hat, right? And as
It's a
an
beautiful hat.
official
Nice.
ambassador for Fantasy Points, I think I was one of the first people who signed up for Fantasy Points. You should sign up for fucking Fantasy Points, man. They are awesome. Scott Barrett, I mean, goodness gracious, that guy is the man.
Barfield.
You've got Graham Barfield, right? You've got Dr. Proctor there, right? You've got everybody there. Like, I mean, you've got
Code
Greg Cosell.
DHH22, by the way.
Yeah, Greg Cosell. Like, what are we doing here? I hope one day that I can come on a podcast, with more people from Fantasy Points. Like, I love Fantasy Points. So get your shit together, folks. Sign up for Fantasy Points
DHH22.
right now.
100%.
And this hat, no one else
DHH
has
22.
it but me and maybe
DJ's
Joe.
22.
So, yeah, it's the shit. All right, so I'm gonna go over Shad White, and here's what I'm gonna say. The raving reviews are in already. I'm reading about him in the local papers today.
Grilled cheese.
Today. No. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, I had to do an Arizona nod. Just kind of go back to where you make your bones, and so I had to go chimichanga. Chimichanga's deep fried, right? Which I love. You're deep frying a burrito. So we're taking Chipotle and we're upging it already.
And you're getting even more diarrhea.
And diabetes as well.
Listen.
All the dias.
I just had my physical. My cholesterol, yes, it's up. My sugars are perfect because all my diet is lots of meats. So, but deep
Street
fry
meat.
that bastard. I have some steak in there as well. I think he's going to be a lot more meaty this year than people think. Fournette's a beast, but you saw the wheels kind of fall off. He can't have 300 touches this year. He's not going to do that. They're not going to break him for the playoffs, right? They needed him. Playoff Lenny was not there for Tampa Bay, and guess what? They suffered at the end of that playoff run. You could see they were not able to control the game. So they're going to rest Playoff Lenny a little bit. I think you're going to see out of the backfield that catch potential, that shifty down the field. He's going to squeeze. Got fucking Tom Brady guy. So I love him. I've been scooping him up in the mid-second round. So
I just traded up for him today. I gave up the 211 and a 2024 third to scoot up to the 204 to take Rashad White.
I like
Nice.
it.
The 211 is a dead spot for me where there's players that I kind of like, but no one I love. So
Yeah, I think
That's where
it's
you need
easier to
pep,
move
though.
up in the second and move back in the first and move up in the second.
Yep,
That's
and that's
pretty much where the
that's
sweet spot is
exactly what it
the
is.
beginning to the middle of the second round for all you that are drafting right now.
Absolutely. So before we get to our final 10 picks, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor. It's Underdog. They've got some awesome tournaments going on, by the way. Like, if you haven't checked out the Underdog app, is a lot of cool stuff going on. So the NFL offseason, it has you hyped. It has me hyped. We just had the schedule release party. Now there's the whole, like, easiest
You had a party?
schedules.
I wasn't
I
invited.
did. I did.
Best ball mania going on
There's a
right now.
party-
They
there's a
got some
party in my
big
pants.
tournament going on in Underdog.
So you can join startups. You can do rookies and sophomores. So go download the Underdog app right now. Hit pause. Go download it. It'll just take a second unless you have crappy Wi-Fi. Then just wait it out. It'll be fine. Or if you have Sprint.
Or
And
if
then
you're waiting in line for a burrito.
Or AT&T. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're just waiting for Tyler to be done in a Jiffy Lube bathroom. It's fine. You can get it done by then.
You can get the draft done real fast.
Use code DHH to have your deposit up to $100 matched instantly. That's free money for something you're going to play anyways. An absolute no-brainer. Probably the biggest startup in the fantasy industry over the last year is Underdog. I've seen ads for it while I'm watching YouTube. I've seen ads for it on TV. Josh Norris and his team founded Underdog. They're putting together a fantastic product. So if you'd like to play DFS style, all sorts of best ball drafts, they have baseball, NFL, basketball as well. There's prop bets, which I'm actually pretty good at. I'm better at that than I am DFS. So over-under predictions, all sorts of stuff. So don't miss out on this deal. Once again, it's code DHH for your deposit up to $100 matched. So we are in the final 10 picks, and I am kicking off that final 10. And I picked David Bell. Now, I think this is one of my best food comps of the evening. David Bell is mashed potatoes.
I was going to say Taco Bell.
Nope.
That's coming. Trust
He's
me.
never sexy. So mashed potatoes are never sexy. They're a staple at all family holiday meals. They're reliable, they're consistent, and they've been around forever. They can be prepared in different ways and speak to Bell's versatility. He's smooth and creamy too.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
So David Bell, he's one of the guys like in
Watson's
this draft.
gonna melt some butter on that.
I won't be surprised if outside of the quarterback position, David Bell is in the NFL longer than anyone else in this draft.
I could see that.
For sure.
He's still running a route.
He's mashed potatoes, man. He's not sexy, but he's a staple, and he's good.
Is he
He's
like
not the star?
at home dinner table mashed potatoes or like high school or school mashed potatoes where you can
He's
stick
not
them
that
and
bad.
plaster them
He's
to
like-
the wall so they'll stick there forever.
He's a homemade Thanksgiving or Easter
Yeah.
Christmas meal mashed potatoes.
Extra.
Like
Get
he's
the
not
ice
the
cream
star of the
scoop
show.
Quick
He's not
question.
the star of the show, but everyone takes a dollop and puts it on their plate because it's just good.
Do you guys throw corn on your mashed potatoes
Oh,
No.
like
God,
I
no.
do?
You are.
I put
What
my
kind of
corn on
maniac
potatoes
are
and
you?
then I put gravy on the corn and potatoes.
That's disgusting.
It's all
Welcome
ended up,
to Minnesota.
It all ends up
Home
the
of
same
the
place.
casseroles.
Yeah, it all,
That reminds
Home of
me
the
of like
casseroles.
Vegas vacation. You want the yellow or the blue?
the hot, yeah, the hot dishes.
The
Yeah,
hot
I'm
dish.
a hard pass on that
Hot
one, Tyler.
dish?
Our bodies
dish.
don't digest corn. Our bodies are like, no, fuck it. Keep the corn moving. Like, what's
It's
You
the
don't like
only
corn?
food that comes out the same way as it goes in.
terrible?
I'm a big fan of corn.
It
I like corn.
scares me.
Their new album's very good as well. I saw
You
them
don't
live.
You don't want to know the
Back in
derivation
August.
of
Jersey corn, though. You can't mess with the Jersey corn.
That's fine. It's
In
fine.
season
Popcorn.
Jersey corn's the.
What is Jersey corn?
Oh,
gonna
Doug, you
have
corn
to-
come down in.
I can buy a corn
July.
jersey.
So-
I go to a concert.
In July, all right, from July to August, we
It
have
just reminds-
Jersey white corn. Now,
It just
I
reminds
live
me
in
of
the Garden
member
State.
berries.
It is the sweetest corn in the
Okay.
country, hands down.
It just
All right.
reminds me of member berries in South Park, except Jersey corn. They all talk like, "Hey, what are you doing over here, huh?"
Hey,
Hey,
get out
guys.
of my crops.
It's the only
Hey.
corn. It's the only corn that insults your mother.
Hey,
It's so good, make you want to slap your mama.
So they sell it at the gas station when you pull up, and the guy has to pump your gas. You like get out of the
Oh,
car.
I
They
hate
give
that
you
about New
tomatoes
Jersey. I
and
hate that
corn.
about New Jersey.
Tomatoes and corn.
It's
Say hi to your mother. Say hi to your
Just
mother.
let me
for me.
pump
Say
my
hi to your
own
mother for
goddamn
you.
gas.
Say hi to your mother for me.
You slow bastard. Let me pump my own gas. You're taking too long. Anywho, all right, let's move on. We've got Bo up next.
Boo.
No, we don't.
All right.
He just got
All right.
skipped in the draft.
We don't have Bo.
We just did skip. We played a game of Skip Bo.
Boo.
What was his pick? There he is.
Hey, he's back.
Hey,
Bo,
my
we're throwing it
connection
back to you,
dropped
buddy.
right at the time I was gonna say something. So
Yeah.
I had my guy. Who did I have? I just forgot all of a sudden.
Colbert.
Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert, my Dallas
Your boy.
Cowboys guy.
Look
My
at
guy,
this.
Jalen Tolbert from South
Gotta grab his
Alabama.
work badge.
Yep. And no, I actually remembered the comp. It's Alabama white barbecue chicken. We're talking just you go down to Alabama. That's the only place in the world where you're going to find Jalen Tolbert as a rookie 3rd round pick. He's going to be a stud, 6'1", 200 pounds, great route runner, college dominator extraordinaire, outstanding route runner, just an outright freak athlete. South Alabama, he's going to be a star. The Dallas Cowboys got a crazy value on this kid. Alabama white barbecue chicken is only found in Alabama. It's basically barbecue chicken where the barbecue sauce is mayonnaise and vinegar based, and it sounds gross at first.
You had me at
but you
mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise.
Yeah, you try Alabama white barbecue sauce. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Absolutely the best ever, and you can only get it in Alabama.
What do they use? Like some white balsamic, white
Yeah.
vinegars?
Now, Doug,
Wait.
this is not Michael Tolbert's brother.
Bowling ball. The
For
bowling
those
ball.
of you,
Bo.
for Scott and Bo, you don't know, everybody has a brother on this show.
Yeah.
Mike
I've
Tolbert's
ended up
brother.
with a ton of Jalen Tolbert, end of second, early thirds. He's a no-brainer there. Every
Yep.
time I'm like, well, Jalen Tolbert again. Cool. Like no problems there.
He's the type of player that could jump right into that offense and produce.
Yeah, no Gallup
Absolutely.
week 1. We'll see.
Yeah, they're gonna trot out Tolbert instead. Hey, all right, let's get to James. He is up next.
All right, my guy at 18 was Jahan Dotson.
Jahan.
Penn State wide receiver. But guess what, guys? I did a little digging. He's from New Jersey.
Oh, he's white corn.
Let's go. Let's go.
He's white corn.
No. All right. We've had
The
all the
sweetest white
entrees.
corn.
He's just
We've had the street
It's
meat.
like a
All right. We've had the carne asada. You got to have a cannoli. You got to finish it with a cannoli. And Jahan Dotson is my cannoli.
I finished in the
Creamy
cannoli one.
filling with a little bit of sweet chocolate chip.
Makes
Crisp
you feel
shell,
like crap
just
when you
like
take
his-
them.
just like
Yeah.
his crisp routes. He could play all over the field. You could take a cannoli with you anywhere.
Hey, be
All right.
careful. You're turning
Pocket
on Dan
cannolis.
Snyder. Dan Snyder's getting turned on right now.
We don't want to do that.
Hey, listen, he, he plays special
he's got a
teams.
lot
He
of
runs
money.
slot. He could play on the outside. Jahan Dotson could do it all. Washington has been looking for that complementary piece to go along with Terry McLaurin. I think Jahan Dotson can get it done. You could see him as early as this year. Big ups, 3-foot vertical. Who jumps 3 feet in the air vertically? I
Not
sure as
me.
hell don't.
And he's not the brother of Josh Doxson, so you're okay.
No, and he's
No.
exactly. He's not Josh Dotson, thank God. But yeah, I think he does a great job in Washington filling the wide receiver 2 spot,
Feeling that cannoli.
filling in that cannoli. So yeah, Jahan Dotson, he's the cannoli from Newark, New Jersey. He's got it.
Is he Buddy Velastro's cannoli?
Hey, don't bust my cannolis, all right?
Hey. All right, we are off to Tyler.
I,
The
li-
next
I
pick.
like this one. Trey McBride at 207. My comp is prosciutto.
Okay.
Now, prosciutto
Prosciutto.
is ham that's
Prosciutto.
aged for like 18 to 36 months in room temperature controlled environment, just like McBride will be
Staple
aging
in your
behind.
charcuterie board. The cooter.
Just like McBride will be aging behind Zach Ertz, just like
It's gonna
Dallas
be hung
Goedert.
on the rack for 3 years.
Now, prosciutto works best with outstanding Italian dishes. My opinion. Put it in some Alfredo. It's fantastic. I like it in Alfredo, chef. Don't just shut up.
Alfredo's not Italian; it's Italian American.
It's Italian American.
Alfredo Brown. He's Italian, right?
Yeah, Alfredo
Yes.
Brown. He's just
Let me go.
Alfredo's as Italian as Alfredo Brown.
Let
is.
me go talk to Alfredo, somebody who I know for sure
Who's in
knows
Panama
about-
right now.
Who's also Cuban.
Yeah.
His middle name's Panini. It's fine.
It works best in like almost any pasta dish. Just like McBride will work really well in Arizona's high-powered offense. If McBride is allowed the proper time to age correctly, we could be looking to slice him into our lineups as soon as late season 2022.
I like it. Prosciutto. I like prosciutto, especially on the charcuterie board, which, again, shout out to Rich Dawson from Dynasty Nerd's wife. I forget her name, and Amanda, maybe? Was
That's
it the
my
same
wife.
as... I know it is, but I thought her name was Ashley. Ashley. I think her name is Ashley. Made the most beautiful charcuterie board I've ever seen.
It was
It was
beautiful.
very nicely done.
And
Yes, it was.
I delved into prosciutto. A lot of people weren't eating it, and I was like, "Give me the prosciutto." This is
Doug went into the
Wow.
bathroom for like 20 minutes after grabbing a handful of
recorded a podcast while I was in there. It was beautiful. It was awesome.
Real truthful about it. I like the comp. All right, about hanging the prosciutto, letting it cure. Just make sure.
Sometimes Tyler has good thoughts.
Now, there's different classifications of prosciutto. I was an Italian gourmet chef. The one you want.
Is that because you're Italian? Is that the only reason why?
No. Like you can go and get Hormel crap, and it could be prosciutto.
Hey, don't you call
You
Mel
want
a
the
whore?
prosciutto di Parma. All right. It comes with a little crown stamped on it. If you get that, it's good. So let's hope Trey McBride is the stamp prosciutto di Parma and not the Hormel. Okay.
Is it on
Got
the
it.
back of the prosciutto?
That's for sure.
No. When you get the
Lower
whole
back.
leg
Lower
of the
back.
prosciutto, you get the whole leg. All right. That's how they do it. They cut it down. You have the whole leg and the shank. And there's an actual stamp, a brand of a crown. So yeah.
All right, good to know. See, insider tips. All right, next we are going to Scott, and then we got the final 5 picks.
What do you guys ever mess with the Iberico? You guys mess with that?
I love Iberico.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know what that
Give me
is.
the Spanish cheese, baby.
Oh man! When
Yeah.
we were in
Loving it.
Spain. We would just go from like restaurant to restaurant. And we would just like give us the best, Iberico you have, and then they'd have these legs of ham just hanging in there. They just cut it right off and just
Serrano.
God.
That's what you think
The
it's ham.
Serrano ham and the Iberico cheese.
Oh,
Guys,
my
they was-
God.
I
I
do
know about
circumcision's
that.
really weird out there.
The guy's name was Hannibal Lecter. He had legs hanging up in his room.
Yeah, I would eat that shit. I watched that show, the Hannibal show on NBC. I'd eat everything they served, man. It would be fucking delicious. I'm sorry, no more cussing. I'm gonna go with Wandell Robinson for me, and the comp is gonna be some Delucia's pizza there in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be hot, right? Because it's gonna be brick oven. It's gonna be burning. He's gonna be burning up.
900 degrees.
Secondary, just going crushing it with the 4.4 speed, with the end arounds and the fast and the little guy Percy Harvin type.
Is he gonna be what we wanted Rondell Moore to be?
I don't know, but he grew 3 inches apparently in the last year.
I love
No,
that. That
I
was
think
hilarious. That was
to be honest, as a Giants fan, Wandale, who I like to call him,
Gigantes.
he's got to get a throw the
Gigantes
Wandale.
fan.
Yeah.
I really think they drafted him to be a special teams specialist.
No!
Which is hilarious. That's the
Why?
stupidest pick ever.
Why?
James
Which is
just
really
upset.
bad.
James is
That's a
upset because he
stupid
grew 3 inches, and James. is
I'm
sitting here
upset
like,
that they spent 2 first-round picks on the same guy.
well, it
Yes.
wasn't 2 first. This is a second rounder.
Come on,
No,
Really
last year
second.
Kadarius Tony, this
First.
year
That's
Wandale
one.
What
Robinson.
the hell's wrong with Tony, by the way?
Wandale's in second.
Nothing.
Absolutely
Wandell
nothing.
was second.
They put it in the past.
What was that about? What was that all?
I guess that optional meant that he was supposed to be there no matter what.
Yeah,
One of
like
those, one of those culture things, like you don't drink the Kool-Aid, you're not on the team. One of those.
He-
And then the coach Dabble came out and said, "Oh yeah, he's doing great.
he came
He
into
got the
the
playbook.
office.
He's doing great now."
He came into the office and Dabble was like, "Hey Tony, we like the things you do. Hey Tony, if we could be you." That's a
Stay
Frosted
here.
Flakes commercial song.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
You're
I
welcome.
feel a little bit
Okay.
dumber now.
That's
Thanks.
yeah. So I'm done. I'm done. Yeah.
It reminds me of a Billy Madison quote.
Oh boy.
I know which one you're talking
The
about.
puppy. Good.
All right, I am ready to hit you with my last food comp, and it is I chose Tyquan Thornton the much maligned Patriots receiver picked in the second round ahead of some players like Sky Moore and whatnot. So my comp to Tyquan Thornton is frog legs. So it's actually a delicacy, just like
Fresh
speed.
fried frog legs.
Just like speed in the NFL, it's a delicacy. It looks ugly on paper, just like his draft position, and everyone laughed. But when you take him in the 4th round, it tastes so good because he is slipping in super flex leagues into the 4th round. And people are taking receivers and running backs that were taken in the 4th and 5th round and leaving Tyquan Thornton just to get cold and no one eats it. So the draft capital and opportunity, it makes the frog legs worth trying because you might look at them and be like, that's ugly. I don't want that. But then you're like, you know what? Maybe I do want that. Maybe it is worth the taste to see what it tastes like. And then you find out that like maybe it's good. And then you took a 4th round rookie pick and you have a player that maybe he can play. I know the history.
Frog legs.
I know the history of Baylor receivers isn't great. I know that the Patriots drafting receivers isn't great, but you got to hit one at some point, right? Like,
no, not really. I mean, I've had frog legs and I've Tyquan my Thornton afterward.
Tastes like chicken.
It does taste like chicken,
sniped on
actually.
this one too. I remember getting after Doug because he sniped me on Thornton, and
What
I
was
was
your
mad
comp for
because
Thornton?
he's one of those little Gatorade electrolyte gummy packs that you eat after you've run a lot. Because I figured Tyquan Thornton's just gonna be out there running cardio all day,
Just nines all day long.
Just-
nines, and nobody's gonna throw it. Like Mac Jones can't even see that far, let
Yeah.
alone throw that
Yeah.
far.
Like run a post, we'll just mix it up.
Well, wait, we didn't
Yeah.
have to throw that far last year. What are we doing here?
we only had to
Yeah, it
throw
was
3
like Aguilar,
times.
not
We
unlike
had to throw
Aguilar.
3 times a game last year.
I know,
It's
and
true.
so it was a really stupid pick. They didn't really need a guy like that. And even if they thought they did, there was like the 4th guy on that prototype board that was still left on the board.
Yeah, I don't
So it
disagree
was
with you on any of that, by the way. I think
Really
they
stupid
reached for
pick,
him.
but I had one lined up with that electrolyte gummy pack that what the Gatorade calls it that
I like that.
you take after to replenish
The
your
G2.
Do you think? Do you think?
like, yeah.
Do you think Robert Kraft
Gatorade
called?
electrolyte gummy for after intense cardio.
Do you think Robert Kraft called up Bill and was like, "Hey, 2nd round, you have to draft a receiver"? And so Bill sits there, looks at
Like,
all
is,
the available
Aaron-
lists, and
is Aaron
starts
Dobson
shaking,
available?
just like, "Oh God."
Is Chad
Oh, God.
Jackson on the board?
Start sweating.
Be like, do I want Sky Moore or
Aw.
Tyquan Thornton?
Taekwondo sounds like karate, so I'm going to take it.
Yeah,
Taekwondo.
I just got done watching Karate Kid, so that's got to
He's
be.
Taekwondo.
What were you
That means
doing?
he's gonna be good.
Taekwondo Thornton
Tops.
waxes off.
Oh God! All right, let's keep it moving. I don't want to get into that whole thing.
Oh,
We're
my.
gonna go back to Bo here for your next comp.
I remember my pick and I remember my comp. I don't have to go to my name badge for this one. I had Jelani Woods, the big tight end out of Virginia, going to the Colts. They talk about building a basketball team. That team's got some height at receiver too.
Jelani.
Yeah.
Jelani, he's probably not Italian, but he can be for the sake of the show.
He could be.
My
Is he
player
Robert
comp
Woods'
for-
brother?
He could be.
Icky Wood's son, I believe.
Yeah. Icky Ekwonu is Icky Woods' nephew.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
same
we
level.
got my comp for the big fella Jelani Woods is a tomahawk steak. He's
Nice.
big and unruly, but if you cook him just right, which is a challenge, you got to practice at the tomahawk, and you really don't want to mess up a tomahawk steak. You can
No,
overcook
it's very
the
expensive
outside.
cut. Very
Yes.
expensive cut.
It's a big hunk of meat. We're talking about a guy who's 6'7", 260. He's a great athlete, one of the highest relative athletic scores of any tight end in history. He's a tomahawk. If they can develop him into a good receiving tight end, he could turn out to be one of those big steakhouse tomahawks that you get at Morton's. And
The
he
old
also could be
96er.
Yeah, he also
Oh,
could
God.
be, he
Great
also
outdoors.
could
Good
end
pull.
up into a 96-ounce hunk of hockey puck if they overcook him. So
True story. The tomahawk steak at Morton's is between 36 and 40 ounces.
It's not the 96er.
There is
That's
no
for
old
sure.
96er, man. That's a myth.
It's not.
yeah, they
I saw it in a
just throw out
movie.
a
It's
number.
real, James.
Yeah, I saw it in a movie.
Oh, yeah, John Candy. Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd. Come on now. All right, let's move it on to James. He's going to bring his favorite player in the draft.
Ritter me this.
Riddle me this, Batman.
All right, Desmond Ritter here. He fell into the 2nd round of our draft, and I was thinking spicy, but after a while, the fall in the draft took the spice off it a little bit. He lands in Atlanta, so he is a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Tastes pretty good.
Tastes pretty
Tastes
good.
but not
Got
as
a
good
little
as a
pickle
Popeye
on there.
sandwich.
I thought you were gonna go with the
Maybe a little
varsity and be like, "What do you
Chick-fil-A
have? What do you
sauce.
have?"
Hopefully, he's not like Chick-fil-A and is closed on Sundays. All right.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I like
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
I
a
mean,
good
he's a pretty plain tasting chicken sandwich. Pretty good. You know, you can eat it here or there. It's decent.
Very friendly. Very
Very
friendly. service.
friendly.
Beautiful
know?
customer service.
And he's not like the Colonel. He's not the Colonel. He's not going to be commanding everyone. But
Yeah.
you know, it's nice.
He's
subtle.
not
Hopefully
Popeyes.
He's open on
He doesn't have
Sundays.
big forearms.
You know, he
Yeah,
lands
he's
in
not-
Atlanta,
and he's
so
not
you
as
gotta
good
stay
at
on
Popeyes
brand
either.
with the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Churches, they're open on Sunday.
He was gonna be. It was either that or chicken and waffles. You know, I like the Chick-fil-A better.
All right. I like it. All right, Tyler, we're going to you. We got 2 more picks.
All right. My pick at 212 is Matt Corral. No, I'm not going Golden Corral.
Corral.
Not doing that.
Chicken.
That's
Mashed
just-
potatoes.
So my comp is a Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme after
Out of a
the
dumpster.
bar closes. Now,
The 1 a.m. Taco
the
Bell.
1 a.m. Taco Bell.
Oh,
so
gosh.
Corral
Sounds
dropped
like a garbage
right.
plate.
Corral dropped right into the Panthers' lap in the late third. The issue was it was one of the only 2 options available for them. So just like late at night, you got McDonald's, aka Sam Howell, or Matt Corral.
The
Taco
Wendy's
Bell.
is open late.
Not here.
No.
So Corral is filled with upside. Taco Bell, I mean, sometimes you get really good Taco Bell.
I mean,
The Crunchwrap
Chuck
has
upside. Yeah.
So the Crunchwrap has all the things you want, and it's easy on the run, and it's quick to eat. Just like, Corral's release. It's really quick, and it's easy on the eyes.
And it'll give you the runs.
The issue is it's luck of the draw. Sometimes you get tomatoes on it, which in my opinion just ruins it outright,
Trash.
and you got to
Yeah.
throw it away. Like the second you get it and you pull it out of the wrapping, there's tomatoes on it. You
Trash.
see it. Yep. Yeah. I'm just throwing it right away.
Directly
then-
into it.
And then sometimes, well, it's gonna go there anyways. Either way.
True.
And then sometimes when you eat, you get a whole bite of sour cream. Just that's all it is sour cream.
Yeah. That's the
And it
worst.
Tyler's favorite bite.
And
That's
it
the-
leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's like the decision,
to leave a sour taste in your mouth.
like the decision making of Coral. His decision making is like that bite of sour cream. There's always a chance though that it's made perfect. Lettuce is still cold. The wrap is perfectly tight. And when they grill it, sometimes they grill the lettuce, but then when you see that the wrap is like fully wrapped, you're just like, perfect. That's what I want to see. And if it's just like that and everything's spread perfectly in one bite, it's good. But you know what I like to do when I go to Taco Bell? I keep my expectations low and I'm like putting my hopes on it.
And it really
You got to
helps
put
be
the
drunk to
Diablo
make that
sauce
choice.
on there, spice it up a little bit. He's gonna need some work. He's gonna need a little bit of Diablo sauce.
I like
Down in
that.
Carolina.
That's gonna need
That's
me
a
to
good
be
one, Tyler.
drunker for me to pick him.
1 a.m. Crunchwrap Supreme.
The issue is he's in Superflex drafts. He's constantly fallen to me in like the early third, late second, and I can't pass on that value. Just like Taco Bell, when you're sitting there looking at your wallet and you're just like, oh
I
man,
got 10
I
bucks.
could go get some for one little tiny thing for $10, or I could get 35 things.
Have you
for
seen how
$10
expensive
at
meals
Taco
are at
Bell.
burger places nowadays? It's like $14 for a value meal. Value meal. Inflation,
Yeah.
man. Ain't that a bitch?
And I mean the rewards on the Taco Bell app, you can't pass that up.
Damn.
Facts.
All right, Scott, you are up last to round us out here on the food comp mock draft.
Okay, so here's what you kind of tip my hand here in real life. If I am going to be drafting, say the last round, like, the 5th round or the 4th round of a draft, I'm going to take a stab at Justin Ross because of the team he plays for. So I already did draft Sky Moore, so I understand I'm kind of doubling up here. But if one of them doesn't hit, I've got the other one, right? So if you're going to be the last pick in the draft or in the tail end of your draft, if Ross is still around, I've been grabbing him in the 4th round. So this is more
going
kind
to
of,
third in some leagues.
I'm seeing him now go earlier. Yeah,
He's growing.
after that- after that
Health check.
tweet. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
as soon as Kansas City tweeted him out catching balls, you're like, oh,
You can't
mother-
overthrow him.
No,
Yeah.
look how big he's 6'4", yeah. So, but here's my comp, right? He's going to be one of I'm glad you talked about like wings before, and you kind of comped the Buffalo wide receivers to wings because he's going to be one of Patrick Mahomes' wings, right? Patrick Mahomes is the big turkey. He flies, right? And
Turkeys
don't fly.
They fly it up onto the rooftop. That's about it.
They can jump.
They
flutter.
They flutter.
Yeah.
They flutter.
Deer can fly too.
Yeah, they can fly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Talk to Santa.
Downhill, they can. Right? So
They fly downhill.
I'm doubling up.
When you push them. Have you ever seen a deer roll? They go.
Oh yeah.
Why
There
are
you
we
go.
talking about this? Sorry, Scott. Go ahead. Finish your
I know.
turkey talk.
No, that's it. He's a Kansas City rub wing. He could be a dry rub. He could be
It's a
wet
dry rub.
Yeah, it's a dry rub. Depending on the week, though, right? He's going to be totally dry some weeks, and other weeks he'll be wet.
Could be a little spicy.
Yeah.
I thought you
don't
might say he was
think
gonna
he's
he was a
make the
turkey
team
neck,
either.
but
I don't think
A
there's any way
turkey
he
neck,
makes
you
the team.
can't, Doug. You don't
Well,
go there. I'll just say
turkey
bone
feet.
marrow.
I don't
that's
think there's
great.
any way he makes the team with his medical history. They signed him as a certain type of
It's-
roster.
and he
ad
didn't
to
get
play.
signed until like day 2 or 3 of
It's
UDFA.
He's a
bad.
90-man roster ad. That means
It's-
that he's
I'm
going to be
just-
in camp, practice squad
Right.
at best.
His medical.
And the problem is, if he's
Yeah.
going to be one of Patrick Mahomes' wings, he's going to be overcooked with ketchup.
I want to petition the Kansas City Chiefs to turn into the Kansas City Turkey Wings
So
Yes.
I've got.
because
So
they
I've
really don't
heard-
have any flight over there.
I've
Like
heard,
a Renaissance fair.
yeah, I've heard rumors about his medical, and it's to the point where if he gets hit hard, there's a chance he's not getting up. Which
He's the
I
one
don't.
with the
Could be
spinal
paralyzed,
surgery,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Same
Correct.
spinal
Yeah.
surgery as I did.
And a lot of teams will not take that risk due to medical.
Clearly.
They don't want to be associated with that. And also there's a lot of money that they'd have to put into that in case it happened. There's financial stuff and insurance.
And he has that degenerative bone disease
Yes.
on top of it.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really
know
sad.
that.
That's why I was going to say bone marrow, but nobody took
Yeah.
it.
That's a good one.
Nah, I heard.
The marrow
I
is
said-
delicious.
I said turkey.
Marrow is delicious.
That hits too
You
hard.
get an ossobuco.
That hits home too much.
Yes. All right. So that is going to
Back
wrap
fat.
up our food mock draft 2022 Superflex style. Before we go, though, I did want to give out a shout out again to Dynasty Nerds, Rich Dotson and team. Go to dynastynerds.com, sign up for the Nerd Herd, use code DHH for 15% off of any subscription that they have available. There's trade tools on there. You get an extra Nerd Herd episode, Prospect Film Room, Prospect Stores, and Dynasty General Manager as well. And if just by chance, if you're looking to get some summer gear, the weather's getting nice, you're going through your closet and you're like, these t-shirts don't fit. I've lost some weight. Or maybe you're like, I just need some new style. You can go on Viridian Global, search DHH or Dynasty Happy Hour. You can go on there. We've got hats, we've got shirts, sweatshirts for those cool summer nights. Everything available on Viridian Global. So make sure you check that out. So before we bounce, Bo, I want you to give me your spiel. Let us know where we can find you, what you're up to, what's going on, and give me your favorite food.
So I'm Bo McBrayer, Bo McBigtime, aka the King of Spice. You can find me on Twitter at Bo_McBigtime. I'm writing for Fantasy Pros and Team Riser Fall. Fantasy Pros is all dynasty work. I'm breaking down all the divisions this month, along with some veteran dynasty players that are getting overlooked because we're a bunch of ageist. If we're going to be perfectly honest, the dynasty crowd is an ageist crowd, and there's still a lot of value out there that we can really squeeze more juice out of lemon for. And of course, I got to shout out Viridian Global because my Hotbox merch is on Viridian Global as well. So get yourself some new threads with the spiciest brand in fantasy football, the official punch in the mouth of fantasy football, Big Time Flavor Co. That's my company, bigtimeflavor.co.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you can get all the good stuff on Viridian there too. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you, Bo. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Simpson,
Wears
give us
many
the
hats.
rundown. And what was your favorite food, Bo, by the way?
Oh man, I'm eating it right now. I got El Patio nachos and tacos and taquitos and a horchata on the side.
Little
Nice.
street meat.
Love it.
Yes,
Scott,
sir.
Scott, you got the stage.
Oh man, I'd say my favorite food is probably Bo's Pizza. I almost died to that. I passed out eating that. It was just.
Did you really?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
might have
yeah.
been something on it. Like you
Dang.
should really go to
Oh,
Not
somebody and
Rupia's
see if there
pizza,
was-
Like
but he did
ecstasy?
pass out.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah, I
something
ate
else on
so
that
much
pizza
of
if
that
you
fucking
passed
thing.
out.
Why am I so
He
horny?
passed out with a plate of pizza on his belly.
on my belly. And then I woke up, and then I continued eating.
With
And I
no
was-
shirt
Yeah,
on.
he-
See, that's how you do it,
Nice.
Scott. That's how you do it.
Nice.
He
Yeah.
woke up. He woke up with no shirt on, but the pizza was still on his
Like
belly.
when Tyler hands me a Checkers cheeseburger at 3:30
It's
in
got a
the
little
morning, I
melted
just eat it.
mozzarella stuck to your belly hair.
What's going
Little
on?
moots,
Put a
little
new
moots.
word in the cheese curl.
So
Mike knows what's up.
you can find me at on Twitter at NimbleWNumbers. And then Bo and I we do DFS writing during the DFS season over at NimbleWNumbers.com. He crushes the cash games. I go for the GPP angle. And then we do clash in the battle of the beards and bellies, which he won the first year. I won the second year. So we're
Rubber
head-to-head.
match.
What
One-
is
yeah,
that?
one-
Can you elaborate just a little bit? I know
Yeah,
we're running out of time here, but
yeah,
I want to know about this.
We pick a 9-man head-to-head DraftKings lineup, and we go at it, and we write about it, and we share each week the team and kind of what we think. And so Bo had hammered me like 9 straight times the first year to end the first season we played together, taking my money hand over fist. And then last year, I beat him. I think I won 8 straight at the end to kind of
Nice.
come back and then beat him at the end. We did points for the playoffs with the most points, not who won each week, but the points at the end. That's
It
kind of
was
what matters.
close.
Right?
Rashad
close.
Penny, thank you very much, probably, right?
Yeah, so I won, and that's my claim to fame. Put it on my tombstone. Beat Bo McBrayer, Bo Big Time _ follow him, and so that's me. And we'll be working for the Sports Gambling Podcast this year. I also am on the Mayo Media Network every couple of weeks. They put me out there with either LQ or Stepmom Lauren, and so it is awesome. I love it. Shout out Pat Mayo.
Awesome. So before we
Nice.
wrap up, James, give me your favorite food.
Oh man, do I really
Putting you on the
have to?
spot. You're a chef, man. You got to give me your favorite. This means a lot.
My
Bolognese.
favorite, like 101.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Street tacos for me. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go and say it's a burrito, man.
All right. All right.
I've never had a real bad burrito.
A lot of people loving the Mexican
Chipotle.
food
I
here.
love
like it.
Mexican food. It's not the 1 a.m. Taco Bell burrito. It's like
That's
official. It's got to
That's
have some nice
Tex-Mex.
guac in there, some chunky guac, with some jalapeno, some kosher, some real like sea salt. It's got to be made fresh. I love fresh food. I try to eat organic as much as possible, and yeah, a burrito, nice brown rice and beans.
Okay, we're not talking about your Blue Apron delivery. We're just talking about your favorite food.
It's not a Blue Apron delivery. # not a sponsor, and it should be for me personally. But
Right.
like that's.
Might be.
I think a lot of people ask me that because I was a chef, and I really don't know. Like I'm very eclectic when it comes to food, from caviar to cheese puffs, dude. I eat it all. It doesn't
Cheese
matter.
puffs are so good.
Cheese puffs are really good.
The Annie's
Those are
ones
goated.
are so
The
good.
big Utz barrels of
Yeah, the
cheese
puffs, cheese poofs.
Damn it, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've eaten some great things in my lifetime, and yeah, I think I would just rather have a burrito any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm a cheeseburger guy. So for me, it's a cheeseburger, medium rare, no tomatoes or lettuce. Get that out of here.
You mean the devil's fruit?
It's mayo, it's onion, bacon, of course. You throw an egg over there, over medium
Yes,
on
sir.
there. It's the
Ooh.
jam. And
Oh, yeah.
French fries are great, but I am all about the tater tot life, friends.
Yes.
Tater tots.
On a burger?
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
on the side. That's my side
Oh,
with my burger. It's
okay.
all about a perfectly cooked tater tot that is
Yep.
the jam.
So
So.
my burger,
They don't know anything about
my
potato
burger
tots,
is
so-
grilled onions, blue cheese. That's all you need.
I like
And
blue
not
cheese
ranch?
on a burger too.
Not ranch,
Not ranch.
I'm talking about blue cheese crumbles,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
not gorgonzola, blue cheese.
blue cheese.
I like goat cheese too.
Doug
I like
also
the
likes
black and
ra-
blue burger. The black
Doug
and
also
blue
likes-
burger is good.
Doug also likes
Best
rally
burger
checker
cheese is
burgers at
Munster.
3 a.m.
Yeah, I like the 3 a.m. thrown in your face. Here, I got you this. I wake up and I just start eating because I'm an animal.
What was that place? Not
Checkers.
Checkers. It wasn't
rally
Checkers.
checkers.
It was Rally Checkers.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
the
like the
stepsister.
it was like the
It
gangster
was the
checkers.
stepsister. of
and
Checkers.
about 20 minutes later, it was not fun. My stomach hated
Yeah,
me.
you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Is what that was all about. So, all right, that is going to wrap us up this week on the Dynasty Happy Hour. Thanks again from me, your host Doug, Tyler, James, Scott and Bo. Make sure you go on iTunes, leave us a review, give us some feedback. What do you like? What don't you like? You like this food comp episode? I think you do. I think it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed doing it. So make sure you leave us those reviews. We're going to see you next week on the Dynasty Happy Hour.
I'm hungry now.
Me too.